Hi, I want to talk about semantics, and I am going to talk about semantics, and this is prompted by an old, new comment on an old video. Video is about a year old called Defining Subjectivity and Objectivity 1 of 2 from a year ago. The comment was, now I scrolled up, so I might as well get it right. It's simple. Probably could get it. Okay, arguing semantics. Have fun. Okay, so this kind of set me off right away because it's sort of just one of these cliches and everybody's always, oh, semantics, oh, we know semantics is boring and terrible and unjustified. But, arguing semantics means talking about what terms mean, what you mean when you say something. So, would that sound so, talking about what you mean? Would you mock that, you semantic haters? Probably not. Now, you hate the way it goes around and around, or the way that people seem to be able to use semantics to dodge. Well, maybe you're just not very good at it. I don't find people can dodge away from me with semantics. I find that I catch them and stop them from dodging once I force a semantic, conversation. Uh, when that's possible. I'm not saying I can, no, but if someone will enter into a semantic conversation, we can sort that stuff out. So the thing about semantics is that it's very important, and if you don't want to do semantics, I see that as a sign of. I know some of you think it's your pet peeve. I'll bet you do semantics, but if you literally will not take part in semantics, I consider that like a weakness, a sign of a weakness, the sign of weakness and being weak philosophically. So consider the following question I thought of. Can you build a clock that doesn't tell time? Can you build a clock that doesn't tell time? And let's look at this semantically. Okay, first of all, if let's say I'm setting out to build a clock, and I'm intending to build a clock that doesn't tell time, then there's the question of, is that really a clock? Isn't a clock something that uh, tells time? Well, no. I mean, I could build a clock and it could be able to tell time, but nobody ever puts a battery in it. It never gets plugged in, so it never actually tells time. And that would still be a clock. That would be me intending to build a clock. But if I intend for it never to tell time, let's say it's incapable of telling time, then is that really even a clock? Now, you can decide yes or no. You can say a clock is something that looks like a clock, so that a prop in a stage play that has no workings, that's a clock. It's just a faux clock or some adjective in front of a clock, okay. Or you can decide, well, those aren't really clocks. Those are just, sculptures that look like clocks. Those are just things that look like a clock but aren't. And either way you choose, then the language of a lot of other statements will follow, and the meaning of a lot of other statements will follow. So let's say technically I would like the idea that a clock is something uh, that tells time. Now, our sentence has to be, if I mean to build something that can't tell time, then I mean to build something other than a clock. And the problem here starts to go beneath the semantics, and we start to see, well, there's an intentionality issue with the clock. Generally, if you build a clock, it's meant to have a readout. But there's other kinds of clocks. I mean, Einstein had a mental idea of a clock in his experiments of a photon bouncing back and forth, which fundamentally you can't really see that. There's no readout per se on a clock like that. You could make a readout. And so you have this issue of, well, how easy of the readout does it have to be for it to be a clock? Because everything tells time in the sense that it changes over time. You just can't read time information out of it. It's not designed to be easy to get the time information out. Well, what if I build something that's not intended to get the time information out? I did not build a clock. I built something else. But somebody else notices how to get the time information out, and easily so, just by looking at it, and reads it just as easily as a regular clock. Then did I build a clock? Well, suddenly we have to talk about intention separate from actuality. Did I build a clock? Yes, because it tells time. But did I intend to build a clock? No, because I did not intend for it to tell time. And this is how we sort out a lot of issues, just through a semantic analysis. And there's points where it's confusing and wait, I'm saying the opposite of what am I saying? I personally enjoy that feeling. So I think it's best, if you like philosophy, that you learn how to at least endure it, because that's what you have to do. Cheers.